Hi everyone, thank you so much for having me once again on your screen, on your phone, on your desktop, on any of the devices that you actually have. Please, if you haven't subscribed to this video yet, click on the subscribe button and also click on the bell icon. That means that anytime we drop a content, you would be the first to know that something juicy, something ripe, something awesome is on the table served just for you. And I'm delivering all of this to you at zero token, but at a very high cost to myself. So if you really want to support this channel, please do so. Let us know. Let's have those conversations. We are open to collaborations. But all that aside, I want to talk about three major shifts that are affecting the boardroom focus. Three major shifts. In fact, three major shifts that should affect, because it doesn't really affect all the time because of the nature of how business is done in Nigeria and of course across other parts of the world. So the first thing is that this particular content is drawing from the last content that I actually did. So somehow you can relate it. You can also go back and watch the last video. So what I want to say is that one of the shifts basically is that boardrooms have to shift from, in fact, companies and businesses have to shift from being in charge. In fact, they don't even need to hand over the power to the consumers anymore. The consumers have already taken charge. I said that already in the last video. Consumers have already taken charge. Businesses now must have to understand, in fact, how do we respond to our customers? How do we respond to their perceptions? How do we respond to their perspectives? Things like that. How can we touch base with the customer? Because, like Sterling Bank will say, we are the one customer bank. That's an intelligent bank. I'm not running a PR for Sterling Bank anyways, but it's an intelligent thing to really focus on the customer. Because if you do, you would learn certain things from that customer that can actually affect the bottom line of your company. But if you treat customers in a very shabby way, they even drop things on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, like the company is blind. Like I went to one particular government agency, it's actually a regulator. Since the blockage of Twitter and all that, people are now going on their Instagram page to see how they can communicate with them. I saw posts that have been there for like 6 months, 9 months, 1 year. 2 years, but nobody's responding to anything. Can you imagine that kind of a scenario? You drop everything that you feel possible to put out there so that at least somebody can even come back to you. And I know that most of our agencies, you send emails, you may not even get a reply in 6 months. If you are lucky, maybe in a week. Some that are reasonable in a week, 2 weeks, but some others, just forget it. Are their email accounts even working? That's the first question that you'd even have to ask yourself. Is the email working? It's not working. For most agencies, you see this, and all that. Email, forget it. You will keep sending mails. They will deliver, but you will never get a feedback. So that's not really nice. That's not a cool thing to be happening. So I'm just saying that companies, now the power has shifted. Companies no longer used to have the powers that they thought they had. We no longer have Superman companies anymore. We now have the Superman client. That's what's basically happening. We now have the Superman client who is dictating. In fact, without the boardroom members, even knowing what's going on, the customers are dictating the conversations in the boardroom. That's what's going on. Customers are dictating because you find boards, they sit down, everybody with their briefcase and all that, looking good, perfume, everything. Makeup boardroom. Makeup boardroom that cannot make up for the customers. That means you are finished, sincerely. Companies and boards have to shift their focus to the customers. You have to meet them where they are. You have to relate with them. You have to know their perceptions, their perspectives, and all that about the business that you're actually doing. Even if you are selling rice, you are selling cement, you are selling travel services, you are a professional consultant, whatsoever business that you are doing, you must recognize that the customer is at the heart and at the center of everything that you intend to achieve. So that's very key. So rule number 2 basically is that there is a thorough shift. I'm not saying that companies are no longer thinking about money or return on investment and all that. No. The point I'm saying is that boards must come of age. We don't want all those boardrooms where you find 120-something-year-old individuals who have actually paid their dues or who are still paying their dues. No, that's not the point. The point I'm making is that we must begin to shift our thinking from all that used to work in the past to what is presently working. And to say that also means that we must shift from focus on money, focus on return on investment and all that. We must go to find a real heartfelt connection with the client. A real heartfelt connection with the client. So for companies that believe that, oh, we are still making money, we don't have social media platforms, we don't have any avenue through which we engage with individuals, trust me, you are doing the absolute wrong thing. You are sitting on a time bomb. It's only a matter of time when only the people of 80 years old and 90-year-old will be doing business with you. If you need to capture the market of the future, you have to start today. You have to start now. It might not be an easy down payment investment to begin to say, okay, you have a media team for your company and all that. It's not easy. It's not cheap, but you need to start now. Now, however you find yourself, in whatsoever capacity you find yourself, you need to start now. Board members have to understand the need to drive corporate response, corporate acceptance, from the customer base by engaging with them through social media. That's very key. That's very important. And finally, brethren, the last point I'm actually about to make right now is that every boardroom is dynamic. Every boardroom is dynamic. Every boardroom is dynamic. For a certain boardroom, what they might require might be a HR specialist on their boardroom because they see that they're having problems in terms of, maintaining staff focus or staff remuneration or any staff improvement policy, however the case may be. So they might be thinking of the HR person to come on board. For another company may feel that, okay, they are having issues at the stage of, customer retention. So they might be thinking of somebody with customer experience to be on the board to be able to bridge that gap. So the point I'm actually trying to make right now presently is that so much has happened within the board space. Skill sets that we felt were relegated to people from the social sciences, those skill sets are now the core skills that are required to really move companies from point A to point B, to move companies from a state of degradation to a state of scaling. So it's very important. The thinking is now different. For your company to have all that it takes, these three shifts are very important. And trust me, even if you don't, even if you have an option not to, but trust me, take my word for it, that companies of the future must begin to attend to these three identified shift areas that are very important to make the boardroom a mastermind that will drive 21st century companies, not overboard, but into the excellence that they deserve and desire. Till I come your way next time, please, if you have any comments, questions, drop it in the comment section. And also, please, do subscribe to this channel. We want to build that relationship with you. We want to know what your thoughts are. And if you require boardroom services, if you want to recruit for a boardroom, anything that has to do with a boardroom, you can talk to us. We can advise you. We can also guide you along on this journey. And we'll be there for you as much as we can. Do have a very wonderful day ahead today. And of course, till I come your way next time, Ambassador Joe.